Yo, what's good? New video. One question. Who y'all think is gonna be the next Drake? Like the next mega big nigga. You feel me? Like, the top of the top. Like, like how Cole, Kendrick, Drake is and stuff like that. People be talking like people be saying Travis is low key up there too. But niggas don't be talking about him like that. But like niggas don't be mentioning his name when it comes to them.
What's going on, Hip Hop Madness family? It's your boy Spencer. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Cause I'm very
Do you look
curious.
forward to finding the next Nicki and Drake?
No, there's no such thing. Back then, Brett, when I did discover, Drake.
Next Nicki and Drake, I'm not gonna lie, the only the only female rapper, numbers wise, that I feel like that could possibly be the next Nicki is like Doja Cat, and that's it though. Drake, I have no idea.
Game was different. Music was different. So they came in where music was, it had everybody's attention. You got to be more than someone to become a Drake or a Nicki these days.
Nothing lasts forever. Across dynasties and monarchies, there comes a time when one flame peters out and another ignites to take its place. Throughout history, this process has become time-honored, and it's felt in sports, entertainment, and perhaps most of all,
there's really a point where
at one point in time,
good,
everyone from Run DMC,
bro, there's really a point where, everybody wanted to smash Nicki. Oh my God, I'm not gonna lie. Still now, I still hit if I got the chance to. But there was a point where, I'm not talking about the fiending ass niggas back at home. Like I'm not talking about us. I'm not talking about us. Us broke niggas. I'm talking about niggas in the rich niggas. You feel me? Like, bro, everybody wanted to smash Nicki at one point. Damn.
To Big Daddy Kane to MC Hammer and LL Cool J were considered to be the center of the
Crazy
commercial
how times has
hip-hop
come.
stratosphere. But with time, they were
Nicki definitely got
dislodged,
case.
and each party took their own respective
Real or
place in
not,
history.
don't matter.
So, now that he stood statue-like at the mountaintop where pop meets rap for so long, the question that's beginning to swirl around in hip-hop circles is as follows. When Drake either hangs it up or is no longer hitting like he once was, who comes to claim his coveted spot? And if you're out there wondering if this discussion is premature, even though he's still a megastar, it does feel like the cultural tide is beginning to turn a little. After dropping his latest project, Certified Lover Boy, Drizzy garnered some of the worst feedback of his entire career, both culturally and critically. On professional score aggregator Metacritic, the record clocked in at just 60 out of 100. Meanwhile, on the prominent fan review site albumoftheyear.org, it has a damning user tally of 40. Critiqued for everything from its cover art to a perceived lack of passion and some questionable lyricism, it seems as though CLB may have represented a tipping point in terms of the public tolerance for Drizzy. Cause, let's be honest, at the age of 35, it's beginning to feel like bars like, say that you a lesbian girl, me too, simply aren't cutting it anymore. In the past, there have been premature cries of Drake's fall-offs, and since Views onwards, there's been an expectation that one slip-up could lead to his kingdom laying in ruins. However, that's not what's up for discussion. At this point, Drake has carved a path through pop music that puts him more in league with the Beatles, Madonna, and Michael Jackson than it does with his contemporaries in hip-hop.
Yo, pause when you supposed to. Honestly, okay, speaking of that, yeah. I fucked with Certified Lover Boy, but if we're really gonna keep it a buck, I feel like the worst album that he dropped recently was that Honestly Nevermind shit.
So, the question isn't so much about whether Drake will fade into obscurity, but rather who is fit to take his place. And while Lil Wayne thinks it's unfeasible due to the shifts in the marketplace, for others, it's only a matter of time until his logical replacement arises. After the point, Drake is contemporaries in hip-hop.
Anyways, I definitely feel like that too. I feel like Drake's style of rapping and stuff like that, and what he doing, and like his capability of like switching flows and adapting new flows and stuff like that. He definitely got a few more years.
So, the question isn't so much about whether Drake will fade into obscurity, but
another
rather who is fit to take his
know.
place. And while Lil Wayne thinks it's unfeasible due to the shifts in the marketplace, for others, it's only a matter of time until his logical replacement arises. After Punch of TDE sent out a tweet that sought to uncover who hip-hop superstars were, it sparked a lot of discussion across prominent channels, not least of all the Joe Budden podcast.
But this is where, for me, it made it tougher to figure out what and who a superstar is. Back then, the only people who could get certain brand deals were superstars. Right. Today, that's not really the case. If you have a good team, everybody's getting deals, so that blurs the line a little bit. How do you tell what a superstar is unless they make it overtly obvious, like Kendrick, Cole, Drake, Nicki, Wayne, Kanye, Jay? I stop.
Although it'd be hard to argue with any of the above, logic dictates that another is likely to come along. However, it'd be hard to argue.
Like that's it. That's pretty much it. There's no one else, right? Cause niggas be saying Travis should be in this conversation. I'm like, nigga, what? Numbers wise, strictly numbers wise. I'm like, nah, don't do that. Cause the impact, nah, don't do that. I don't know, don't do that. People was talking about some Pharrell. I'm like, Pharrell not a rapper. What are you talking about? But I agree with that.
Kanye, Jay, I stop.
Although it'd be hard to argue with any of the above, logic dictates that another is likely to come along. However, it'd be hard to argue that while everyone Joe named is a superstar, they exist in a different orbit from Drizzy. Granted, there are some markets in which Drake's stature has always paled in comparison to one of his closest collaborators.
Like when you ain't no rapper, all them statistics don't mean. A regular street don't give a about how many times you went #1. The farthest they think is the club. In Atlanta, it's a lot of who you really can't tell them Future ain't bigger than Drake. I used to think that.
With 21 depicting a difference in cultural significance when it comes to the streets, it should be pointed out that Drizzy has also been outmatched in the estimations of musical purists too. And in this realm, it's Kendrick Lamar that's got him beat.
Listen, in the morning, there's nothing that we crave more than a delicious breakfast. Back in the day, we used to rush to the kitchen to devour it.
Oh, I was about to, hold on. Get this shit.
Go to magicspoon.com/hiphopmanage and save $5 today. Thank you.
There's nothing Drake is doing now that Kendrick won't be doing commercially. All the same late night talk shows if they choose to, all the same magazine covers if they choose to, same type of venues if they choose to. He's more consistent musically, but Kendrick got mad Grammys. Kendrick literally shifts culture when he comes out, not even just on some rap, on some music. He said, I'm top 5. And he said, matter of fact, I'm that guy. And then Baby Keem says, #2 keeps texting my, I don't even ask why. We know who the sniper is out here. Certified lover boy.
You think?
So he's letting you know who he thinks is #2.
Damn.
As a result of these artists already serving certain functions in the game, it's likely that
#2 keep texting my bitch. I didn't even dissect the bars like that. I didn't even dissect the bars like that. Jesus, Keem was talking his shit like that for real.
the air isn't going to come from any of those who've been his contemporaries, as for years now, they've managed to coexist alongside him, and in doing so, focus on their own lane when his was either inaccessible or simply incompatible with their approach to the art. Jumping one generation on from Drake, it could be argued that Travis Scott has obtained superstar status. In the pandemic era, the flame became unavoidable across McDonald's meals, Nike shoe collabs, and the battle royale realm of Fortnite. And more impressively, he did so without actually dropping a full-length record since the landmark Astroworld in 2018. That said, Travis's stock and reputation has taken a considerable hit since the events of Astroworld Festival 2021. And at the moment, it's impossible to say whether he'll ever fully recover.
It's like with Kanye and Kendrick and Cole, like with that whole list that I was just saying, could you put Future in there? Could you put Future in there? I'm thinking like Future be doing his thing. Like stop. Niggas need to put some respect on Future name. Like I'm not gonna hold you. And Future been doing this shit just as long too. You know what I'm saying? Like right with Kendrick, Cole, Kanye, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne with the rest of them, like you could put in Future, right? But this is the thing though, if you put in Future, niggas is gonna try to make an argument for Young Thug. But it's like, Young Thug's sound isn't really original, because it definitely is heavily influenced by Wayne, but it's kind of like he took one of Wayne's styles and he made it his own type shit. But, because it's like, if you really gonna bring up Future, there's gonna be niggas bringing up Thug, and that's a fact. Oh my fucking God.
Every bit as renowned as Travis, Thugger is another man that merit a passing mention in the conversation.
You know what I'm
However,
saying?
what everyone has always cherished about Thugger is that he always has and always will march to.
By how much though? Because I fuck with Thug. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Thug dropped a new song, if Future dropped a new song, I'm not gonna lie, I'm listening to the Thug one first. Me personally.
The beat of his own drum. As a result, he could never be the commercial phenom in the vein that Drizzy was. Consequently, this leads us to the pool of talent that's experienced their come up in recent years. A paradigm in which fame is easier to get than ever, but hard to.
Lil Baby up next for real, I'm not gonna lie.
to sustain. From Lil Uzi Vert to Gunna
Uzi
to
as
NBA
well.
Youngboy, there's
Stop playing with my son Uzi though. Stop playing with my son Uzi though. Cause I'm not gonna lie, Uzi clears all these new niggas. Stop playing. Not gonna hold you. You feel me? Not gonna hold you. And I'm saying this right now. YB not seeing Uzi, Gunna not seeing Uzi, Lil Baby, Dirk, none of the niggas is seeing Uzi. Facts. Facts. Facts.
There's no shortage of artists whose names have become inescapable in any conversation about hip-hop. However, it feels that if there's one man that has every generation on side, it's Lil Baby. And in modern times, he's only gathering steam.
There was a time when a Drake feature helped a Lil Baby. I think right now Drake might need that Lil Baby feature. Let's be clear, a lot of the Drake records of late haven't really, taken off. Envy, you're a liar, and I'm gonna tell you why you're a liar. You told me that you was out in the street and the record wasn't ringing off. You didn't hear it nowhere.
Yeah, no, I didn't play it.
Okay.
Recognized as the #1 artist in 2020, Lil Baby dominated the hip-hop charts in a year where Drake was conspicuously quiet. Revered by his peers and elder statesmen alike, The Atlantan is a real success story, and if you need any further verification as to where he stands in the mainstream,
And he getting on TV and shit, you know what I'm saying? My son getting on TV. He was just on SNL and stuff like that, so he doing his thing. My man Lil Baby was like,
space, look no further than the fact that he was featured on both of Nicki Minaj's recent singles. However, there is some evidence to suggest that while he's thriving in terms of the streaming metrics, he isn't crossing the demographic divides in the way that Champagne Papi has and has concentrated bases of support. In the eyes of academics, this is evidenced by his ticket sales, and during a trip to the Flagrant 2 podcast, he explained that the combined might of he and his Voice of the Heroes running mate Durkio still wasn't enough to fill massive rooms.
They said Lil Baby's ticket, he's trying to do arenas about 10,000 to 15,000. They say his tour is doing bad. You'll never see him post that his tour is sold out. It's not selling that much.
Although this may seem like a slight against him, it could be argued that Lil Baby isn't overtly focused on cultivating chart smashes, and with 2020's The Bigger Picture, he's shown a spotlight on a socially pertinent issue in a way that Drake has always shied away from. I'm not into #1s or number whatever, he told ID in a recent interview. I just aim to put out a good body of work that sticks. At this point, I can finally say that I'm an artist, he continued. Not just a rapper, because I'm performing on so many different levels at this point. Now people can say, Baby's an artist. For people that have never heard of me, I tell them my music is as real as it gets, plain and simple. More focused on conveying the stories of his surroundings than pandering to the masses, it'd perhaps be unfair to put the pressure of stepping into Drizzy's shoes on Baby when he has another mission in mind. To be the next Drake,
oh shit, Violet, you got a boy
is a must.
on,
and for Kentucky's
on the way.
Jack Harlow,
Congrats, bro.
the goal is always to make an innately relatable and catchy outfit.
What's up?
Now
Damn,
seen
why
as the star
everybody
of the future
becoming
and harboring a
fathers?
cross-cultural appeal,
Damn.
Jack, despite having only one
Hold on, you making me miss out. Hold on.
At this point, I can finally say that I'm an artist, he continued. Not just a rapper, because I'm
I
performing
blanked
on so
out
many
for a sec.
different
My
levels
fault,
at
you
this
two.
point. Now people can say,
Y'all be
Baby's
fine.
an artist. For people that have never heard of me, I tell them my music is as real as it gets, plain and simple. More focused on conveying the stories of his surroundings than pandering to the masses, it'd perhaps be unfair to put the pressure of stepping into Drizzy's shoes on Baby when he has another mission in mind. To be the next Drake, universality is a must. And for Kentucky's Jack Harlow, the goal is always to make an innately relatable and catchy output. Now seen as a star of the future and harboring a cross-cultural appeal, Jack, despite having only one studio album to his name at present, has become a major force in music for the Gen Z generation. Armed with 41.6 million monthly listeners, last year saw the rising star earn his first #1 single with Lil Nas X's Industry Baby, a move which almost instantly raised his already considerable profile.
Who the hell
If Forbes is to be believed, Jack is
wrong.
showered in panties, bras, and marriage proposals at every stop on his tour, and Jack has every intention of continuing to seize the upper ranks of the game. Plus, he's not shy about letting the world know who he's modeling himself on.
GOAT rapper. Yes, greatest of all time rapper.
It's Drizzy, baby.
Since decreed by Kanye to be one of the top 5 right now, it seems as though the moment Ye encountered Harlow's output on Nail Tech, he rushed to align himself. And barring his own signees on Good Music, the last outsider that he gushed over to this extent was way back in 2009 when he took to his old blog to commend a line from Drake's Everyday. Having claimed that Drake made it okay not to be from the streets and that I saw myself in him, Jack is following his lead to the utmost extent. And if his recent comments to Zane Lowe are anything to go by, he's all too aware of the position he's occupying and is not looking to slip up.
I wanted to stay present last year, but, I knew I had to bring it. I have big plans for myself and, how I represent my generation and, what I'm going to mean to this next decade. So, I like to take my time and make sure I come with it. I'm a body of work type of artist. And, I'm not in a place where I can disappear for 2 years yet, but I'm looking forward to getting in a space where I could take my time, because the last thing I did was so special that they have no choice but to check for you when you come back. It's all about the music first. People are starting to attach to me for different reasons, but for me, it starts with the music.
Burdened with expectations for himself that equal those of his fans, Jack isn't without his doubters. In fact, some suggest that his profile is being elevated based off of his personality rather than any skill set or style that definitively sets him apart from his contemporaries. However, it's not like Drake never had to field questions about what it was that made him such a captivating figure over the years, and every time, the hits spoke for themselves. But where most rappers have proven themselves to be boastful and braggadocious over the years, not to mention allowing their ego to shine through, one reason that Jack's appeal is so far-reaching is that at every turn, he appears to be immensely grateful for the audience that he's reaching. From standing up and making himself count after the murder of George Floyd, to defying the wishes of some of his advisors who tried to deter him from working with Lil Nas X, Jack has relatability and empathy on his side. Plus, he has enough healthy skepticism over the position that he's found himself in to ensure that he will never allow himself to get
shit,
complacent.
I'm not gonna lie. In
I have
some
serious
aspects, Jack
imposter
Harlow is a
syndrome
real
the
nigga,
whole
but
way
it's just
through
like, you know,
until
I don't
GQ.
know.
And
Like,
then you have to
Drake
bounce
level,
with
I
it
don't
and
know.
feel like you're totally where you're supposed to be. Moments of self-doubt combined with moments of I am who I think I am. I think what has worked for me is that my music has never been about the fact that I'm white. I don't try to lean into the, hey, I'm the white boy. I try not to make it a novelty. I rap from the heart, rather than trying to do a white version of the art form. When Drake came out, he made it okay not to be from the streets, Jack continued. I saw myself in him. He made it okay not to be that cliched tough guy person. From sticking with his day ones in the form of his private garden crew, to being viewed as so charming that it spawned plenty of think pieces on what it is about this man that makes him so enthralling, Jack has the whole world rooting for him. Now, all he has to do is deliver his own seminal sophomore album in the vein of a Take Care, cause if he does, the keys to hip-hop's commercial kingdom may be his for the taking. With Drizzy likely training one eye on the exit, it's only a matter of time until he bids us adieu. And when he does, the ensuing power struggle will see someone come out on top. Now, all we can do is wait and see who's up to the task. And when it comes to picking up Drake's crown in commercial hip-hop, they're liable to find out.
In order for us to really find out who's really gonna be on top after Drake, like, you know, Drake gonna have to, like, you know, start consistently, like, you know, not really hitting the same. So, and I still think he got a good few years left. So, you know what I'm saying? We'll see.